Hi, happy Monday. It's Sunday, which means it's podcast day. Get out of here. On our new podcast, the Fellowship Covenant podcast, Brother Beard and I look through your confessions and have you confess your sins to us so we can tell you whether or not you're forgiven in the eyes of our God, Gormu. Enjoy this clip from the podcast, and if you liked it, make sure you click the link in the description below or the top right of the screen so you can watch the full episode.
Sometimes shaming others can feel really good.
And you know what else feels really good? Repenting. Who's ready for confessions? Yeah. Play the organ. Play. Come on, play the organ. Brother Beard.
Organ. Come on. Play the Why do we even hire an organist if they're not going to play when they're supposed to play?
Can you throw something at them? You have anything on you?
Got this can of beer.
There we go. Okay, well. That handles that. We're going to do confessions. And before we do, remember, if you want to confess your own sins, you just got to send an email to covenantconfessions@gmail.com. And it would actually make it easier for us if you left your pronouns in there also, just for storytelling purposes. I think from now on, Gormu does with pronouns.
Gormu loves pronouns. Out of all of the words in the English language, pronouns are literally the top.
This one is called Stands with Benefits. So I have a very popular Stan account on Twitter for a YouTuber / podcaster I really like.
This
we are both...
this is already a red flag. Nothing, no hate to Stans, but a little bit of hate to Stans. A little bit.
Gormu doesn't like Stans. We are not Stans of Gormu. We are followers, and I hope I never made it feel that way previously. But recently,
being a Gormu Stan is just a bit too parasocial. Like if you're like posting fan cams of Gormu on Twitter, he'd be like, "Whoa, like chill the fuck out."
Yeah,
like come on.
Well,
we have obviously we all want to have a relationship with Gormu, but I feel like you can take things too far, get too obsessed. If you start shipping Gormu with, Gromlu, the other,
Wait, what's up? Who?
Well, Gromlu is another one of the outer gods. We can talk more about that later.
Yeah, obviously. That's a lot at once that you just threw at everybody. Gromlu, but yeah. No, that's okay. That's okay. I think for both of us, doing the job that we do, we have experienced, and I can at least say for myself, like a lot of personal relationships in my life, the dynamic has changed because of the position I'm in, and that's sort of a sad thing that has happened truly, but I really can't complain because honestly, Gormu, imagine how he feels, Things must be a lot weirder with the dynamics in his life because he's a god.
Yeah, imagine like what it would feel like to be in Gormu's shoes, wondering like do these people really like me or do they just like me because I'm God?
Yeah. Yeah.
That must be tough. I can really empathize with Gormu on that front. So like, don't just love Gormu because he's, the creator of the universe. Love Gormu because he's like cool.
Yeah, he's cool and he's chill and he just wants to kick. That's it. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you would try to be in Gormu's shoes, you wouldn't fit. His feet are massive, very big, and he also has like 3 really big toes. So the shoes, if he has to wear them, they have to be like custom made because nothing fits. And he complains.
I know we're going off on a bit of a tangent, but I think eventually we're going to be able to show some iconography of the congregation is actually going to get to gaze onto the figure of Gormu
for the first time, which has never happened. We have seen him in visions in different forms, but we are slowly convincing him to give us a sneak peek of that hashtag GormuBod, which I give that one away for free to our Gormites out there if anyone wants to use hashtag GormuBod. We might get to see that soon, which is exciting.
Yeah.
I have a very popular Stan account on Twitter for a YouTuber / podcaster I really like. It's nothing too weird, mostly just memes, updates, photos, etc. A few months ago, said YouTuber slid into my DM on my main account on Instagram, and we've been seriously talking ever since.
So far, this is sounding a little bit more like a sin on the part of the YouTuber, committing a bit of power
being
imbalance.
A weirdo.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't seriously, for other, whether you're a Gormite, prophet, YouTuber, podcaster, Probably a bad idea to start seriously talking to someone who has a Stan account of you. A little weird, but
sounds like you might be able to take advantage of them, and that's probably not chill in Gormu's eyes. So
yeah, that's a weird thing to start a relationship off on. But let's continue. We've mentioned meeting up, and all my friends know that we are seriously talking, but he doesn't know about my Twitter account?
Oh,
oh, this throws a wrench into it.
Oh, God.
They've told me I should probably deactivate, but even if I do, I know if certain people ever found out that we are talking, they'll definitely message him because I know they have screenshot proof of the account and that it is me that runs it. I know that he's eventually going to find out either way, but I really don't want to have to bring that up to him because I know he'll be weirded out. WTF do I do? LMAO. First of all, this reads a little bit more like you think this is an advice column instead of confessing your sins. But we will treat it as a sin because there are things to talk about. You know, I'm going to let Brother Beard speak for a second here since I read this. But my initial thought is do not meet up with him before letting him know that you are a part of this account because that would be bad.
Well, it sounds like they already have... Oh, we've mentioned meeting up. Okay, so they haven't met up yet. Yeah, do not meet up until
that would be a nightmare, dude. Like, you don't want to start off a relationship. I think just
imagine if you like hooked up with someone and then you're like laying in bed and you look over and you're like, hey, what are you doing? No, just scrolling through my Stan account of you. I'd be like, what the fuck? It's okay to have a Stan account, but yeah, you have to be honest. Again, some sneaky behavior here.
Sneaky.
It's not as much of a power imbalance if the YouTuber doesn't realize that you have the Stan account of him, but yeah, I think this is a really weird gray area. I would say absolutely let him know if you're gonna try to meet up.
That is so funny. Yeah, I don't think deactivating is the right move. To be honest with you, I think in this situation, unfortunately, this should not go any further. And if I were you, I would maybe say, hey, I run this account. At the end of the day, everything's consensual and we can't control what goes on in your sinful heterosexual relationships. Assuming this is heterosexual, apologies if it's not. That was, kind of a brash insinuation on my behalf to just assume you were taking part in something that's extremely sinful in the eyes of Gormu. But at the end of the day, we are confessing here. And
it's very careful to not make false allegations of heterosexuality.
Yeah, that's a big deal. But you did... Besides that, there hasn't been much sin that has happened yet, but I do think I'm interested to know whether or not in the conversation he has brought up what his job is, because then I think...
the YouTuber slid into my DM on my main account on Instagram. I'm wondering how this YouTuber found...
Yeah,
like, I'm wondering how the YouTuber even found the person in the first place. Was it just like a weird coincidence that they happened to DM someone that has a Stan account of them? Or I feel like maybe the YouTuber knows.
There's sneaky stuff going on here for sure. A lot of sneaky stuff.
There's kind of like a double sneak happening.
There might be a double sneak because, think about this. There's no way if you run a Stan account, you're not going to at least casually follow the person on your main account. And, and then maybe even comment and put stuff on your stories and have messages in there because that's just part of your daily life. Either way, the YouTuber slid in, knowing that this other person followed them back and was interested in them and probably content surrounding them, And so, starting off on that foot is already a little bit dangerous, and it makes me feel like
the YouTuber probably already knows that you're a fan, I would guess.
Which is very...
Or at least knows that...
Very sneaky and very suspicious on that behalf. So I would say the biggest sin, we don't know everything about the story, but the YouTuber podcaster knows they're in at least some sort of position, but doesn't know the extent of it. And you sort of hold the power of what you want to do in this situation. And I think as soon as you can, you should, take a beat and say, hey.
If you deactivate the account, I feel like that's kind of just kicking the can of dishonesty down the road,
Because then you don't have an account. and it's
you
gonna
lose your
end.
account that you've worked hard on. The YouTuber's probably going to find out eventually anyway.
Yeah.
So I'd say just don't deactivate the account. Just be honest with the YouTuber about the account. And
Yeah.
then, I mean, probably it shouldn't be a relationship because
Yeah.
it's not like
It's-
super healthy to be in a relationship with a stan.
Yeah, it's not. It's not
so-
our decision at the end of the day. But I would highly, highly, highly say that should not end up going any further than just like a friendly. If you guys vibe out and it works, you can be friends. Technically, you can do whatever you want. But my recommendation is cut it off.
Yeah. You can do what you want. It's your life, but that's just our recommendation as priests of Gormu.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'd say Gormu, as long as you take a pact with us, a solemn pact, a solemn covenant with the church, that
Yes.
you will move forth with honesty instead of sneakiness, I think that we can say you have been forgiven.
Wow, and that's a great one to end on before we go into the post-service show. So I think that's going to be the last confession here. Of course, you can listen to us do. We're going to do 2 more in the post show, and especially if you gave us your confession, you want to make sure whether or not we read it. Out of the hundreds that we get, chances are we did it, but you never know. And so it's only $2 to just support the show in itself, even if you don't want to watch the bonus episode. These big church walls aren't going to expand constantly throughout the coming weeks on their own. We got to keep this construction going. We got to keep on packing people into this building. Bring back traditional church is what I say. But
eventually, we're gonna be so packed. It's gonna be sweaty. It's gonna be hot. Woo! We're gonna not be able to. We're gonna be like praising Gormu.
I can't breathe. I'm praising so hard. I can't even breathe. Thank you for watching this clip from the podcast. Make sure you click the link in the description below to check out the rest of the episode. Have a great rest of your Sunday, and praise be.